So this is one of the recreated historic transom exit sign electrical back boxes. I'd like to have you say that about 3 times fast if you could. They were created about 4 inches wide, just like the old one, the one that was 85 years old, but they actually need to be about 3/4 of an inch wider. So I've laid it out with a cut right here. We're going to take a hacksaw and we're going to make a start cut right there on the corner so that then I can use this jigsaw, some people would call it a saber saw, to split these boxes in two all the way around, and then we'll weld a strip in to make the boxes as wide as they need to be. Well, I've got my earplugs in so we can save what's left of my hearing. So I split the box in two. I'll go ahead and deburr all the edges and then we'll make a strip to go between and weld it together. So to make this box 4 3/4 wide instead of 4 inches wide, I've got this piece of metal. Already made 190-degree bend on it. You've got to lay it out very carefully to get the bend just in exactly the right place. So the best thing to do is just make a bend, bring it over to the metal, and mark it again. Go back to the vise and keep bending it until we have a rectangle done. So we can make these rectangular bends pretty easily in a vise. You can bend a lot with your hand. You just take a hammer and finish it off that way. And I apologize, folks, but I'm the craftsman, the cameraman, everything on this job. That's the way I like it, really. You can see we're getting there. Got to make one more vertical bend and then cut it and weld it. So I've taken one of the electrical boxes, split it in two, fabricated this splitter ring or extender ring, whatever you want to call it. I guess since I made it I can call it whatever I want to. I'm getting ready to put it in the middle here, put the two halves together and weld the whole assembly together. So that's the next step. One of the secrets to welding is to fit the steel up well, and so I've done that. I've got my trim ring bent to the right shape, got some C-clamps that spotted it. I'm going to start up the welder here in a minute, make a little noise so you won't be able to hear very well. That's okay. It's an arc welder. It's about 40 years old, and what it does is complete electrical circuit between this, the metal, and the ground back to the welding machine over there. And I'm welding on very low power, so it's hard to do. That's my excuse anyway. So I got half of the welding done. I've got this piece welded all the way around with a series of spot welds. Now we're going to take the second half, join it together, clamp it up and weld it as well. We've got to use bigger C-clamps now because my small ones, they won't reach that far. So let's clamp up with bigger clamps. So the welding operation is complete. What used to be a 4-inch wide box is now a 4 3/4 inch wide box. what's left for me to do is to grind the welds down, clean up the box, and paint it, and then give it back to the electricians. It's Wednesday, August 29th, and we're in the orchestra foyer area. And this is the double door that you would walk into to take your seat in the theater. And these are one of the boxes that I had to modify, and this is it right back here. The problem that I had to deal with was this wood stop was evidently made 3/8 of an inch wider both sides than what the historical one was, so that when it was added on, this trim of this historic faceplate no longer would jive up okay. So we stretched this box, the electricians installed it, put the faceplate on it. Now it looks good.